Well, we just lost one for. Let's wait until 8 o'clock. I like to get on a little early, but if you're in the chat room right now, oh, hey, I'm live now. I just got the alert. But if you're in the chat room right now, share this. Let's get some people in here. Let's have a good old time tonight. I'm in the clubhouse again. I've been trying to avoid being in the clubhouse because, yes, Philip Anthony Tuddle is back. Yes, I can read chat. Yeah, I can read chat. The only time that I cannot read chat, T-Bone. T-Bone's in the house, as always, never disappoints. But I'm back in the clubhouse tonight because we are practically... Tom, you... God damn it. You made me laugh there. But, yeah, I am in the clubhouse tonight because we are basically having... gale force winds here because we are so close to the water. And even though that I got this, like you guys say that I've been talking into a rat here, this thing, it's my mic screen. It does block a lot of the wind, but if it's as windy as it is right now, it wouldn't sound as good. Plus the wind the other day when I was trying to shoot the SpaceX thing, my tripod fell over. The wind was that bad. And I know, listen, I'm getting a new phone soon. But I really can't afford for this tripod to flip over and crash my phone. So, speaking of SpaceX, I don't love it because I think that Elan has really, really stepped up the space program, but I think his head's getting a little too big. That prototype rocket that they have, that they're testing out, and I don't even understand. It is so ridiculous. I think that they are going for too much by trying to land that thing on its belly and then flipping it. The thing successfully landed today, but about 20 seconds after it landed, the bitch blew up. It exploded again. Now, this is the third one that Elan has lost on this. Does anybody find that concerning? Because I got to tell you, if I'm an astronaut, and I know that these are just prototypes, they have had pretty good luck when it comes to the SpaceX rockets. They did lose a booster not too long ago that they did not land on the barge. They've been having a lot of scrubs as well lately. So we'll see. We'll see. You know, Elon's not even the richest guy in the world now. I mean, he ended up passing Jeff Bezos there for a while as the world's richest man. And then I think he lost like $36 billion overnight on some Bitcoin deal. And you know what's crazy? That 36 billion, yeah, I mean, that's gotta hurt. It's gotta hurt. I don't care how rich you are. If you lose 36 billion in a day, that's gonna hurt. No matter who you are. But that that is like somebody breaking into my PT Cruiser and stealing the change. Because Elon will make that back up. The other thing that I don't like about Elon, you know, they're sending up all these Starlink satellites that's supposed to give internet to people all over the world. Do you know how much money our government has given to that company to be able to get that? How many taxpayer dollars have gone to fund this Starlink project that they're working on? Do you realize how much? I mean, the startup cost is almost $1,000 to get on that Starlink stuff. I used to be able to watch them in my backyard. Yeah, I mean, I can see the vehicle assembly building from where I live at right now. I grew up around the space program. Yeah, hey, what up, Fish on Jay? Even though you stood me up on Sunday, just jokes, fish on Jay. But yeah, no, I mean, if you are a fan of the space program, I remember, like, you guys know that I love news stories, and I don't want to steal the news junkie, uh, tag, but I'm a news junkie. I remember the first big news story that I saw as a kid, because we were so close to the space program, was them taking us out to see the Challenger space shuttle blast off. And the only reason why we did that is because they had Christy McCullough, the teacher. And they brought us all out there, and we actually saw it with our own eyes. Thanks, man. I'm going to get to the Bubba stuff here in a few minutes. I was just waiting for some people to get in. But what I'm trying to say is we saw that rocket explode in real life with our own eyes, not even on the TV. And that was one of the first big news stories. But if you're looking for something to watch, Netflix, I talked about this, has a great documentary called Challenger. And when you watch it, you're going to get pissed. You are going to get pissed. Because that whole, like, tragedy could have been avoided. It really, really could have been avoided. It's just government people. They already had so many scrubs. Sorry, Tuddle. Jump the shark was totally... See, man, dude, I don't understand. Are you using text to talk when you are writing in the chat? Because I swear to God, it's like trying to read Mandarin Chinese every time you say something. So do you mean that I've jumped the shark, or what's up? I want to thank all of my sponsors. I'm going to get into the Bubba stuff here. But, hey, what up, Stuck in Dion's Tub? But I want to thank all of my sponsors. I want to thank my sponsors, Starfire Transport, Boost Mobile, Good Life Organics, StitchYouUp.com, VaporShades.com. Go to Vapor Shades. My guy, Billy. I need to get with him because my mom has been rocking the Vapor Shades. What up, CNC Chips? Are you a big CNC Music Factory fan? But I want to thank all of those. But Vapor Shades, I need to get with Billy because my mom has been rocking those. And she was in a hurry. She dropped her glasses and one of the lenses popped out. And she can't find it now. She cannot find the lens. And I'm not saying anything bad about the quality of the product. It's just she's a little rough sometimes. She just throws shit in her purse. And I need to get in there. Machinist. Do you mean the movie with Christian Bale, The Machinist? Because I got to tell you, the weight loss that he did for The Machinist was outrageous. So all my sponsors have been helping me out, which has been great. Getting monetized on YouTube has helped. And I want to thank all of you guys. So let's get into the Bubba stuff. Vaporshades.com, use the promo code Tuddle to get a great deal on a new pair of glasses. But let's get into the Bubba stuff. I don't listen to the show for a couple of reasons. I mean, that was like my family. The monsters were like my family. And a lot of you guys always ask, why did you lash out? Why do you always lash out? Why do you burn bridges? Well, because I take it personally. I love radio. There's a lot of people that are on the radio and they don't love it. They don't love the history. They don't love what radio stands for. And I do. I'm like a sponge. Not like Bubba the Love Sponge, but I'm a sponge. I'm always soaking up information, learning from every single host that I have ever worked for. And you guys know that I'm passionate about it. Look at all the dumb stuff that I have done through my radio career for the love of the business. To do a podcast, come on the radio, etc. And good. Listen, that's all I need. Because I am a changed person. I have not seen Bubba in person since the day that he sent me home when I was rude as hell after getting out of the psychiatric ward. That's the last time that I saw him. And I'm a changed person. Fish on J, fish on J. You've hung out with me. Wouldn't you say that I'm a completely different person? Not saying that I'm going to be a completely different person on the air. Personally, I've learned from my mistakes. I've learned from my addiction problems. I've learned from just all the stuff that has happened to me. The childhood trauma. Oh, dude, I am excited. So Bubba actually said that he wants me to do a one-on-one podcast with him because I didn't get to hear it. And like I said, it's not that I don't like the show. It's just it's painful to listen to, not because it's bad content. It's because it just reminds me of how bad that I messed up. Plus, I get up early in the morning. I make myself my breakfast. I do my stretching. I get in a workout. And then I start recording. Because, like, I'm balancing a lot of stuff. I don't think you guys realize this, is that, like I said, I am not joking when I say that I am the busiest unemployed person that you're ever going to see. I want to thank everybody that is joining me right now, the 16 people that are in here. If you get a chance, share this. Tell your friends, family, loved ones, all that. You're going to go in from 8:45 to 11:45 and maybe 3 times a week. Yeah, listen, look, Blitz has helped me out so much. I didn't, yeah, man, I've definitely changed. Not the character. Listen, I told you, this podcast has made me a better broadcaster. It really has. I mean, it's gotten me back to being hungry. It's gotten me back to the journey. I've talked about this. The journey is always more fun and enjoyable than the finish line. It is. Because when you first start in a job, you're trying to do everything you can to impress the upper bosses and stuff. You don't care what you do. And that's what I want to do. I want to come back. I want to get back in the good graces with everybody. And even if Bubba, yeah, thank you, man. And even if Bubba, like, you know, maybe Bubba's changed. Maybe Bubba's changed and he doesn't like what I'm going to bring to the table. And there's not going to be any hard feelings. I just need the opportunity. And that's why I labeled this getting my foot back in the door. I don't know if you guys realize how I ended up getting at the BRN in the first place. That was my whole plan. I heard that they needed a web guy. Have I ever done websites? Hell no. I had never done websites before. But I told them that I did. And technically, hold on. I see a man who wants to live and wants to be in the game. Yes. I think I know who that. Yeah. But what I'm trying to say is that I did. I lied to get my way into the BRN as a web guy. And technically, I did do websites. I did Facebook. I did MySpace. Do you guys remember MySpace? everybody learned. All right, Bubba already talked to Blitz about you, and he's down for you coming. I think it's a great opportunity, even though it's not a full-time gig. Yeah, listen, this is my passion now, this podcast. And I don't want people to think that if I do come back to the BRN, that it's not going to be my passion. It will be. But yeah, MySpace had everybody learning HTML back in the day. That was the first time that I ever learned. Speaking of websites, what up, Franklin? Speaking of websites, that was the first time that I learned how to do like HTML stuff. Remember how back in the day when MySpace first came out, everybody would spend hours trying to figure out how to get that fancy background, how to get that music to play whenever people would log onto your page. And it always caused a bunch of fights. I think Tom from MySpace did that shit on purpose. When, you had your like top 8 friends, because it always caused drama. Because one of your friends would be like, "Hey, did I do something wrong? Why am I not in your top 8 friends?" And it caused all types of problems. But yeah, MySpace. How the mighty have fallen. Because everybody thought MySpace was like some juggernaut. And I feel like that's going to eventually happen. I could see that happening to Twitter, because I was reading all types of reports about Twitter like charging for like tweets and stuff now. And I think that's just a bad idea. Whatever, AB. But I'm excited. I am tremendously excited about the opportunity to start being back at the BRN, being on the Bubba Love Sponge show, and providing content for him, and being able to promote what I'm doing. And I don't want people to think like I'm trying to use Bubba. No, Bubba. Look, if I come back to the BRN, I'm gonna give it my all. You're not gonna hear that Dick Tuddle overly counter programming. No, no. Please do not put words in my mouth. I am not back at the BRN. They talked about it, and I will be on the show at 8:45. I think Tuesday the 16th. It's already in my calendar. 8:45, Tuesday the 16th is when I will be appearing on the Bubba Love Sponge show. And then I think I'm going to be doing a podcast after that show with the one and only Bubba Clem. And I'm excited about it. And I'm going to be real. I'm going to be raw. I'm going to talk about all my issues, what I have done to fix them. Because I am. I'm sure a lot of people have had doubts in my sobriety. I mean, guys, I'm not a vain person, but if I was still drinking, do you think I would look the way that I am right now? What's up, Tuddle? Good to hear you. But just yeah, and look, like I said, I'm not a vain person, but I wanted to be able to prove to myself. And at the beginning of 2020, I was like, all right, stock market is crashing. Then the global pandemic started. And I always feel guilty saying that 2020 was a great year for me, because I know that it was shitty for a lot of people. It just was. I was able to concentrate on myself. This is the best that I have ever been, mentally and physically. Like I worked out for 3 hours today. So I've made changes. And I'm glad that Bubba has given me another chance, because think about this, guys. Bubba has made his mistakes. He's made his mistakes. Bubba is like a phoenix that always rises from the ashes. So I think maybe that could be why he's given me another chance. And I'm not going to let him down. I'm not. I'm going to be respectful. I'm going to be the best employee or person associated with the show. You're not going to have any problems with me, but I also don't want you to think that I'm going to come back and I'm not going to be the same Tuddle. I'm still going to mix it up. I'm still not going to take shit from people. I'm going to get heat. Let's put up a poll on Twitch today, and we and Bubba voted for the main show and podcast Willie. Yeah, dude, listen, I am all about doing, if they want to start out slowly, I am down to do just a couple of shows a week on the big show if he wants me. I'm not going to push myself on him. A lot of people ask me, why didn't I call in today? I don't want to be overly aggressive. I just don't want to be that guy. I've known Bubba for 10 years now, and I just know how he is. So what I'm trying to say is, I am going to be grateful for whatever Bubba gives to me, and I'll go from there. I just need that chance. Don't do that. What do you mean? I'm trying to grow an audience with my podcast right now. Do you think that I'm going to stop doing the Tuddle Daily podcast? No, I'm not. I've worked way too hard. I just did show, I think. No, I wasn't going to call in. I was just like, if they want to talk to me, they'll text me and say call in or whatever. I just don't want to be overly aggressive. But I've worked too hard. I think today's Tuddle Daily podcast was number 349. I'm almost coming up on a full year worth of shows. When it comes to, because 349, I'm almost to 365. Think about that. I have worked my ass off. Do you realize how humbling it was when I first started this podcast to see, oh man, I only got 25 downloads today? That can't be possible. And then it just started to grow, started to snowball because of you guys, my supporters. That's why I call you guys supporters. I am a big football fan for my UK audience, but soccer here in America, they call their fans supporters because they are just as important as the players. And I've talked about this before. Every time that I've ever built anything online, in the PT Cruiser as well too, but I've talked about this. Every time that I've tried to grow anything online, I've had a terrestrial platform to be able to build it on. And I don't have that now. So yes, I'm going to take the opportunity and I'm going to be grateful for it. And I'm going to use it. And I don't want you to think that I'm not going to be committed to the BRN, because I am. I'm going to be committed. I am the most focused that I have ever been in my life. And that's no bullshit. Because I eat, sleep, and breathe working out, podcast, taking care of my parents. And speaking of my parents, I don't know why my dad, I mean, it's not like my parents go anywhere, but my dad, I need the vaccine. I need the vaccine. I need the COVID-19 vaccine. And if it makes him feel better, I finally got his appointment. Tomorrow at 10:45, both of my parents are getting their first shot. They're not getting the single shot vaccine. They're getting the double willy. And I think you got to wait like a month before you get the second shot. But I ended up, after I made the appointment for them, and this is what was really, really cool. Whenever I booked the appointment to get the vaccine, my mom was actually in the hospital, and I could not get her booked and penciled in to get the vaccine. But somebody from Volusia County Health Department called me today, and I was like, hey, you're calling about my dad. My mom was in the hospital. Can we get her booked when my dad comes in? And guess what? They got her in. They were like, yes, let's knock both of them out at the same time. So bring both of them. So I got to go to Delaney tomorrow to the Volusia County Fairgrounds, and they're going to get their first shot. They don't even have to get out of the car because you guys know that my dad does not get around very well. So I'm going to load them in to the PT Cruiser. We're going to head to the Volusia County Fairgrounds. Now, what I want to ask you and get your opinion on it, I have my tripod. Is it a violation of HIPAA laws to record the process? Because my mom and dad are okay with it. They are down. They were like, because I think that it would be interesting to go through the process. So would I get in trouble if I film the process of my mom and dad getting their COVID shots? I mean, if I have my mom and dad's permission, I don't think it is a violation of HIPAA laws. I don't think it is. And for the most part, I'm not going to show any of the doctors or the nurses or whoever is giving the injection. So I think I should be good, right? I'm going to record it either way. Tom Delaney is just the F everything guy, and I love him for that. But I would like to hear from you. Email me, tuddle@gmail.com, or leave me a voicemail, 407-270-3044. Yeah, I am glad. Okay, so I kind of worked a gimmick with my dad. He didn't know. It was a gimmick that I worked out. When I finally got the shot scheduled and he got up, I was telling my dad, I kind of sold it. I was like, you need your driver's license, Florida ID, all that good stuff. And I said, before they give you the shot, you have to say, thank you, President Biden, for making this happen. Now, if you don't know my dad, he is hardcore MAGA. I'm not anti-MAGA, but I just want to, he got fired up. He was like, fuck that. I'm not taking the shot if I got to say thank you, Biden. That's how much of a MAGA fan he is. But, I got that on audio, and it's on today's Tuddle Daily Podcast, I think episode 349. I was just trying to get him fired up. But he was happy. He was extremely happy that I was able to get that set up. Oh, yeah. Oh, good. My boy Reggie from, and I had him on the show. I'm trying to get him as a sponsor. He's got a great product. He's got a clothing line called Yeah, I'm High Bro. I had him on. He was great. But a past guest that I had on the show, and I always do my own research before I run with anything. But I found out some disturbing news about one of the guests that I had on last year. And I thought this guy was amazing. And the guy opened me up to a lot when it comes to a brand new audience. The stoner audience, the people that want medical marijuana. But if what I found out is true, and he just sent me a message with some info to verify some of this stuff, and if this is true, I'm going to put this guy on blast. One of the things that I do not stand for is stolen valor. People that have said that they are in the military, but really not, to try to put on a show. And I'm going to do my own research. I'm going to be 100% sure before I run with the story. But if it is true, yeah, I don't even know what to say. Because this was actually a good friend. I mean, I had never met him, but he was a great guest. He introduced me to some great people. But from what I'm hearing, yeah, stolen valor. And I think that is kind of despicable. And I don't want you to think it is my producer, Vulture, because it is not. But I got some good stuff coming up. And I'm going to talk about it. It's not like it's going to be an interview, so it's not like Vulture can cockblock me on this. I love you, Vulture. I'm just busting balls. Because I did that interview, I think, was it last week? I don't even know. It might have even been the week before. I hope to one day be able to play the interview that I did. And I'm telling you, you're not going to want to miss it. You'll love it. You will absolutely love it. But if you guys really want to help me out, I mean, I don't even know if the show email F Vulture. There we go, Tom Delaney. At least you waited 32 minutes and 33 seconds before you said that tonight. So thank you for holding back. This is another question I wanted to ask you guys, because this is the way that my mind works. And I don't know if it is because my phone, because I have an iPhone 8, but I am having trouble. And I am an amazing texter. I rarely make typos. But I've been noticing as of late that when I try to please stop spamming. Are you talking about social media? No, I agree. I've cut back the promotion on my social media, but you got to understand, if I don't promote myself, nobody else will. So you're right. Sometimes I do spam a little too much promoting my show. But I gotta champion myself because nobody else is doing it. Oh, okay. So back to what I was saying. When I've been texting, I've been noticing every single time I try to type the word you, Y-O-U, I never get it right. I never get it right. Is this some like brain disorder? Do I have CTE? Do I need to be called into CTE protocol before I get back on the air? Or is it just a bad phone? And it's kind of freaking me out. Why every time I try to type Y-O-U, it's never right. It's never effing right. And this has just been happening as of recent. So what I'm trying to say is, like, that's how my brain works. I guess you could call me a hypochondriac. Because I'm one of those guys, anytime I have anything wrong at all, I go to WebMD, and it's always cancer. Stoner dyslexia. Hey, I mean, if that's what it is, then, I mean, I'm cool with that. I mean, I can say you. I'm just having a hard time typing YOU when I'm posting stuff on social media or texting people. Oh, see, I'm in the office. Here, see if you can hear the phone ringing. I wonder who that is. Because I got to tell you, the Hobo Fish Camp is kind of packed right now. Bike week starts on Friday. And this place is going to be packed. Volusia County is potentially going to be a super spreading event. Who knows? I know Sturgis up in Montana was responsible for COVID going rampant in the Midwest, northern Midwest. So I'm going to try to stay away from people, but you can already see the bikers in town. Bike week brings in so much money because you got to realize those hogs, those choppers are not cheap. You know, a lot of people think that bikers are these like outlaws and stuff. No, they're doctors, they're dentists, they're lawyers. And they come in and they drop some mad cash on the businesses here locally in Volusia County. So it's needed. It really is. You know, a lot of people don't realize state of Florida does not have a state income tax. Do you realize that the theme parks were shut down for almost like 6 months? Those people from the UK, you wouldn't believe the amount of people from the United Kingdom that come here to the Orlando area, Central Florida, like Daytona, Orlando, Tampa. Those people weren't here. That outside money was not coming in, was not being spent on the businesses. So Florida is going to be in trouble. Their budget is going to be so screwed up because we don't pay a state income tax here. We rely on tourists coming in and spending money here. And we didn't have that in 2020. So what type of trouble are we going to be in here in the state of Florida? Because I don't think people are realizing that. I think our national debt here in the United States reached $28 trillion for the first time in the history of the United States. I'm at the age where I might not have to worry about it, but I got to tell you, the future generations they're going to be foobarred. They are going to be straight up foobarred because they're going to rob Social Security like they've already done. You do know that the government took out a loan out of Social Security. Yeah, I know. So, but what I'm saying is, like, think about that. That debt, I'm not blaming it on anybody. Everybody fell on hard times right now. But, I mean, somebody's going to have to pay the piper at some point. And I'm not blaming this on Republicans or Democrats because I pretty much hate and do not trust any of the politicians that we have. I mean, everything that Trump did has already gotten wiped out by Biden. Everything that Biden does is going to get wiped out by the next guy. So what's the point? Do you understand who it matters, who the president is? It's not people like me and you. It's the rich millionaires and billionaires, the lobbyists. That's who cares about who the president is. Do you think that any of these presidents give a F about any of us? Trump, that interview that I could not air, that said person said, oh, Trump loves his audience. Maybe so. Maybe so. But you want me to be honest? I don't really think he cared. I don't think Biden. I don't think Obama. I don't think George W. Bush cared. I don't think Clinton cared, because they're all a bunch of rich assholes. And they wouldn't give you the time of day. You want to know why they're out meeting you and shaking your hands? Is because of their egos, and they're trying to get your votes. And that's it. They don't give a fuck about any of us. And I know, like I'm saying, I know that I'm probably sounding like conspiracy theory guy, or like I'm not trying to be Alex Jones or anything. No, I'm not. But it's the truth. It really is. It's just the way that it is. Also, I forgot to mention one of my most important sponsors, Scott York, FloridaCannabisCoach.com. Scott York has got a great business plan set up. And I know a lot of the younger generation knows how to go about getting your medical marijuana card. But the older generation, they don't. They just don't get it. And if you go to Scott York's, FloridaCannabisCoach.com, he's going to walk you through the whole process. What he's going to do is he's going to find a doctor in your area. That doctor is going to get you certified for your medical card. Then he's going to help you get that card. Then he's going to find out the right strain, the right CBD, whatever it may be for your ailment. And then he's going to go to the dispensary with you for the first time. And a lot of people don't know this. You can't use your debit card or credit card when you go to a dispensary. It's not happening, because those banks are backed federally, and medical marijuana is not a federal thing. They do have ATM machines there that you can go to and pull money out, but you're not allowed to use your card. So go to FloridaCannabisCoach.com. Check them out. You guys, visiting my sponsors, doing business with them, only helps me out. And now I know that I have people dropping like flies because I'm talking about one of my sponsors. But that's okay. I get it. I'm a fan of radio. I hate it. I hate a lot of commercials. Have you noticed that my Tuddle Daily Podcast show has gotten longer every single day? It's because I'm getting more sponsors. Yes, he does serve Lakeland. I mean, dude, email me, tuddle@gmail.com. I will get you in direct contact with Scott York at FloridaCannabisCoach.com. The guy knows his shit. He really does. So he knows it all. And I'm going to get off the sponsors, but you guys know that I got to take care of these people, because this is how I'm surviving right now. And I don't want you guys to think like I'm making a lot of money. I mean, it's good money. I don't need a lot. I don't live an extravagant lifestyle. I mean, just look at the car. Yes, tuddle@gmail.com. Look at the car that I drive. I've owned 3 PT Cruisers in my life. Nobody chooses to drive PT Cruisers. It's just affordable. They are pieces of crap, but it gets me to where I need to go. It really does. No, I mean, definitely need to get your card. But I will tell you one of the things that I think is absolute BS. I think it is BS that you cannot have your concealed carry permit in the state of Florida if you have your medical marijuana card. I think that is the dumbest thing that I have ever heard in my life. Think about this, people. They'll give concealed carry permits to the biggest alcoholics out there. Who do you think is going to be most likely to shoot somebody with a gun? Somebody that is drunk or somebody that is high? I already know the answer. Here, I'll give you another example. Where the Philadelphia Eagles play at, they say that it is one of the worst fans out there. Think about this. Eagles fans threw D-cell batteries at Santa Claus on a Christmas weekend game. They threw D-cell batteries at Santa Claus. Who does that? Guess what? They were all beard up. Now, I know they make a lot of money off of alcohol sales, but hear me out. Think about this. Stop serving alcohol at football games. Let people smoke their heads off until they get blazed as F. And the money that you're going to lose off of alcohol sales, you're going to make up big time on concession. Do you think that you're going to have fights in Philadelphia? Philadelphia's football stadium has a jail and a judge for game day. That is how many fights they have at Philadelphia Eagles games. Everybody high, everybody friendly, everybody spending more money. Getting nachos, getting pizza, getting hot dogs, whatever it may be, pretzels, churros. Swear to God, I think it might be more profitable to get rid of the alcohol. I'm not saying that alcohol is bad. It's just people like me and some people just cannot handle it. So if you let everybody blaze up, less fights, less shootings, more food being bought at concession, seems like a win-win for everybody. And guess what? You'll be so high, you won't even give an F if your team loses. They could get blown out 40-0. And you're not even going to care. We're like, oh, great game, dude. Nice try, man. Great effort, dude. So happy, so proud of you, man. Do you want to come get in my drum circle and we can, work this out? No, you won't. Let everybody pregame. Let everybody pregame all they want to. But what I'm trying to say is, let them get beard up, because I think some of the weed that they're selling now would counteract any of the alcohol. I mean, they still might be obnoxious, but they're going to be high. And when you're high, you do not want to fight anybody. You just want to eat and enjoy the experience. That's about it. I mean, it's a simple idea, a simple plan to solve a lot of problems that they have at sporting events, big gatherings. Dude, and listen, I don't want you guys to think like I'm this big pothead, because I'm not. But, I mean, think about this. The amount of people that get killed by drunk drivers, people that die of cirrhosis of the liver, the people that die of cancer from tobacco, dipping, or smoking. I don't think I have ever read any place where somebody has OD'd on marijuana. Now, I'm not saying that it's cool to drive around in your car blazed out of your mind. No. I mean, there has to be some type of regulation with it, but you can't tell me that if alcohol and tobacco is legal, why can't marijuana be? Think of all the revenues. Have you guys seen how much money, tax money, that Colorado has made since they legalized it recreational? It's crazy. But back to the politicians and the lobbyists. Big tobacco, big alcohol is putting money in the politicians' pockets. That's why medical marijuana has not become recreational nationwide. And it should be. It should be. Same thing goes for mushrooms. Am I going to go out and do mushrooms? No, but it's all natural. If you don't have to process it, and you can just get it straight out of the ground, and by process, I know you got to process marijuana. I know you got to process, mushrooms and stuff. But I'm talking about adding things. I was reading, and I'm going to talk about this on tomorrow's Tuddle Daily podcast. There's a new drug out. Now, this could have been a problem for me in my early 20s if this benzo dope, that's out. I think it's like a mixture of Xanax and fentanyl. And I'm hearing a lot of people are just dropping dead from it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, Florida had for a while, and still does, has an epidemic. I have a friend that has lost. Weed won't be legal until they figure out how much is in your system, like a breathalyzer. Yeah, I agree. I mean, think about this, though. The only amendment that we have had in the history of our country that was overturned was prohibition. I mean, prohibition created organized crime, the mafia. And then they're like, oh my God, we created organized crime from this. Same thing with weed, organized crime. If you made it legal, these drug dealers are going to be out of business. So what I'm trying to say is, that's the one amendment that we overturned because we tried to ban alcohol, and that didn't turn out so well. So let's just legalize it. Sorry to get all political, guys. I am going to get out of here because I'm freezing my ass off. No, listen. I do not care what people do in their personal life. Now, when you go out and you're doing drugs and you're driving around and you're putting other people in danger, that's where it becomes a problem. Do I care? Yeah, who protect it? Exactly. I mean, that's what I was saying. But what you do in your personal life, I don't give a fuck what you do in your personal life as long as you're not endangering other people. I've always thought that prostitution should be legalized. But, I mean, I can see people's points of, oh, well, it gets, yeah. Yeah, big farm's in it too. Not pharmaceutical. But I know prostitution leads to trafficking and abductions and stuff like that. But I have no problem with two consenting adults exchanging money for sexual favors. It's not the government's business. It shouldn't be. You want to know why it is? Because the government wants to tax it. They want to tax the whores. They want to tax the whores. That's exactly what they want to do. Now, if the government could be making some money off of prostitution, then yeah. All right, guys. I want to thank everybody. I mean, this has been a great night. Had a lot of people. I want to thank every single person that has joined me tonight. Check out tomorrow's Tuddle Daily podcast. I got a great show lined up. I got some amazing audio that I'm going to play for you. had a story about, I'm going to break down this reporter out in LA is doing his live shot. The anchor throws it to him on the street, and then a shootout between a guy that got pulled over and the police. And the guy did such a horrible job covering it. The guy had already gotten off 11 rounds before they even started talking about the shootout that was going on. And I got to tell you, I know that I have a face for radio, but if WESH Channel 2, WKMG Channel 6, WFTV Channel 9, or WOFL Fox 35 here in Orlando want to own up and hire me. Yes, I'm not the most attractive guy, but I've been starting to see it's like the quality and attractiveness of people on TV has gone downhill. And you want a great reporter, a man on the street, because I would have ran right to the shootout to get the angle. Hell, I would have tried to interview the gunman while he was popping off rounds at the police officer, and then get down there and try to talk to the police officer himself. I mean, you just got to do it. You got to do it. And the guy was not quick enough on his feet and didn't get the best angle. And you know what? I'm kind of ruining the audio. So tune in to tomorrow's Tuddle Daily Podcast. I'm going to break that down. Got a lot of great stuff up there. Had some video that I'm going to upload. There was a dead manatee floating down the river today. And I've never seen this before. There were like 6 vultures riding on this dead manatee down the river. But the only thing is that these vultures, they can't get through the tough skin of the manatee. So they had to wait for it to rot a little bit. Same thing goes for these elephants and stuff. When an elephant dies, these vultures wait for the hyenas and the lions and stuff to rip them open before that. They always go for the anus. They always go for the anus. So, yeah. We are like animals. Because humans like to eat ass as well, too. And I'm going to go out on that horrible joke. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. I want to thank every single one of you. If you want to donate or help me out, go to my PayPal, paypal.me/Tuddle on the radio. Or if you don't want to donate financially, just tell your friends, family, loved ones, neighbors, coworkers, whoever it may be. Hell, your mortal enemy. Tell them about this show. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight's broadcast. Hope you guys are having a great night. And I will talk to you tomorrow.